some of the people you've worked with, I'm looking at the list here, and it's just insane, Gary. Congratulations. You've worked with some of the top guitarists, literally, of all time, and I'm wondering if you might be able to say a couple words or memories about these four especially. Obviously with John McLaughlin, Allan Holdsworth, Jeff Beck, and Gary Moore. Those, that's kind of like a Mount Rushmore of guitar right there. But
yeah,
how did all that happen, and some memories that come to mind of them, please?
Well, I have very fond memories of Gary Moore. Yeah, he was a very sweet individual. He really was a sweet guy. Like everything you read and hear about Hendrix, actually, he had this sweet quality to him, and a very, very kind kind of nature. And he had a dark side. No, a bit of a dark side. I mean, he could be difficult and temperamental, but he was this very sweet, essentially a very sweet guy. And he was complicated, that's all, which invariably seems to be the case with a lot of the people, especially a lot with artists who have this kind of struggle of to find and search and to get where they think this thing is. And I think Gary he really worked hard to please as many people as he could all the time. And I kind of wish he hadn't done. I wish he kind of said, well, who cares? The people. There was enough of a fan base of Gary. I mean, he was one of the most incredible, visceral communicators on guitar. When he played a note, everybody. That was Gary. Yeah, I mean, visceral. And John, I really can't say enough about John. Really, the everything the influence, but more so the continuing inspiration that he is as a player, as a musician, as a searcher, and where he throws himself. I was making this. It's also very funny with John too, but I was noticing this one particular move of John's. If you used to seeing him play a lot, you see him bring his hand off the fretboard almost aggressively, sometimes and his hands in the air. And I think a lot of people think of that as some kind of affectation. Actually, I realized not so many years ago exactly what that was about. And that's that he will not allow himself to play what he knows. And if he finds himself going into a phrase, no matter how appropriate and how great it would be at that moment, if it's something that he knows, he takes his hand off the fretboard. And I thought, oh man, how is that? Because to deny yourself your best punch at that most opportune moment, because you've got this rule, you will not repeat yourself and go into a phrase that's in muscle memory. I think that is one of the most inspirational things I ever heard in music,
And that's because he's continually trying to grow and keep expanding, right?
He insists on being to be in the spontaneous, to be of what he's doing, to be of the purest kind of spontaneous improvisation it can be. What he knows isn't in question, and he takes his hand away from the guitar. It's unbelievable. Allan used to do that a little bit too, although he was obviously a very different kind of player. And we started playing together when I was 18, so I had almost 34 years on and off with Allan. So it really was the most significant development for me, particularly as a drummer, but also in music, and sort of in terms of the relationships as players in music and the communication, improvisational thing. Not much I could say.
That's a special relationship there, it sounds like.
I think the last time I worked with him in 2014, he was very sick, and I knew it wasn't going to be long. So, sure enough, it wasn't. So losing him was a real biggie. Just to sort of start to try to find my way of making sense of being a musician to that point, actually, is weird with him not here. You know, it's very strange. Hey, that's grief. But you spoke of John, Allan, and Gary, and Jeff Beck. I haven't worked with Jeff very much, but I have a couple of times, and he's another real sweetie, and any more self-effacing you just can't get. And you know, what a character! We're talking like we were on at the beginning of this interview. Now the real characters. I mean, who else? I mean, somebody gives Jeff Beck a guitar and he sounds like Jeff Beck on your guitar. That's it. Like Allan used to say, for guitars, it's in your hands, and in deeper than that. He's a big favorite. I mean, there have been others too. Robin Trower, that was the last time I worked with Jack Bruce, and we did an album called 7 Moons, which was a really nice record. I'm so happy that worked out, because that band was just around for a little while, and then we lost Jack. So yeah, it's been a big period of loss, and it's hard, man. It's hard without these people, but it's the sole thing. I have to take everything they gave me, carry it on, keep going with the spirit that we both enjoyed and we both worked together with in that way, and just keep it going, keep the thing going. And I hope to do just that.
Well, I think you are doing it, and I think you're doing it really well. Is there any music, current or recently or upcoming music with John that will be released, or any live albums from these tours that will be released?
I don't think so. No. There might be something. There might be something we recorded, originally movie music, but it might come out on its own terms with John. There's no talk about anything new just now. But I've been recording with a bunch of other people and other projects. I did a piano album with an American, but has lived in Britain most of his life, Mark Winkfield. You ever heard of him? He's kind of like a proggy, strongly atmospheric guy with a lot of kind of English influence to what he does. And we did an album that's currently out, and you know, that's, people are enjoying that. It's quite ambient and atmospheric, so as a change from what I'm usually involved in. So I mean, there are different things all over the place that I keep doing recordings for people, and then they keep coming out, and I'm thinking, wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, because this can happen like you do something a year ago or 6 months or 2 years ago and it comes out, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it really can. Yeah, so it's always a pleasant surprise, you know, if it sounds good and you still believe it to be good, and when something comes out and it documents an important time, and it's lovely to be involved in so many thoroughly eventful recordings and stuff over the years with wonderful people, and a lot of those who are not here anymore. Makes it very special.